Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you guys about A Very Large Expansive Sea by Tahera Mafi. This is another young adult title, but it's unlike anything that I have read before because it's told from a Muslim young teenage girl. And it's pretty groundbreaking because there's not a lot of mainstream titles in America that have a Persian Muslim protagonist and female at that. The author Tahera Mafi is pretty successful. She does another fantasy series called Unravel Me. And this one though is very different from anything that she writes. And this is semi-autobiographical for her because she was able to put a lot of her experiences that happened to her when she was growing up into or reflected in the life of her protagonist, which is Shireen. And the novel takes place post 9/11. And so for anyone that was alive during that time, you know that there was some level of fear and uncertainty when you would encounter anyone that was from the Middle East because we just didn't know anything. And this protagonist is a prime example of what happened to that, except on a whole other level. She chooses to wear the hijab, and her parents are immigrants, so they move around a lot, searching for work and better opportunities. So she's always the new kid in school. So you can imagine she's labeled and she is treated horrifically. I don't want to get into any details, but I could not believe the level of bullying that would happen. And you guys, I am 39 years old. I went to high school. I have worked in a high school for over 16 years, and I have never seen bullying like this. I mean, I've seen it in the movies, but knowing that this is semi-autobiographical and looking back at what the author experienced, it just made my heart hurt for her. So anyway, this is young adult, so you know it's gonna follow some typical tropes, and we've got some Romeo and Juliet star-crossed lover vibes because Shireen does fall for someone completely out of her circle, very popular, best athlete in the school, and he falls for her too. But of course, you know there's going to be some conflict with that because, well, it's high school. So you have that storyline, and then just a little dash of fun. Shireen's brother Naveed starts a breakdancing crew, and so you see some of that too. Okay, so one of the things I really loved was that the protagonist is so real. Shireen doesn't follow in her life, her family life, it just doesn't follow any of the typical things that you associate with the Muslim culture. And she was real. She cursed. She would lie to her mom about saying her prayers. She, would date a boy, liked a boy. And those are just things that you don't see as being very common in a very strict Muslim household. So I really loved that they made her a very real teenager, and it wasn't what we were used to see. So that takes me to my critique is her love interest. His name is Ocean, a weird name, but he was not as believable. I felt like at times he was just too nice, too understanding, too forgiving. Shireen, it sometimes gets a little bit annoying because of the reservation she has about things. And Ocean is just ready and just always so patient with her. And I was like, yeah, this is a really great guy, almost too great. So that was probably one of the only critiques that I had as far as this novel. But other than that, I finished it in 2 days. And if I didn't have kids and a life, I probably could have sat through it in one sitting. It was interesting all the way through. It was a page turner, but it wasn't crazy over the top, something that you couldn't believe. It was just like looking into somebody's everyday life on a very eventful few weeks. And I really enjoyed this look into this life and being dropped into this picture. So overall, I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. You can't go wrong if you pick this up, especially if you are into that young adult romance, and it's just something different, a great way to look at the same scenario through a different lens and through somebody else's perspective. I didn't see any triggers with this novel. There's nothing that I need to warn you about. So it's just an easy, great, fun read. That's all I have for you today about A Very Large Expansive Sea. I hope you check it out, or if you don't, that you're checking out something else great and that you're reading. So we'll see you next time. Bye.